Everyone now is talking about David Benavidez. Benavidez this, Benavidez that. Oh, he lost to Bivol. Blah, blah, blah. Guys, I'll tell you right now, Canelo's not dumb. He didn't fight Benavidez because he wasn't 100%. And now Canelo says that he's 100% and nobody can beat this version of Canelo. You know, and when he fights Benavidez, whether Cinco de Mayo or Mexico Independence Day, he's going to make David Benavidez look so easy because how good Canelo is. When Benavidez fought Caleb Plant, I was like, awesome, good for Benavidez. But bro, you don't stand a chance with Canelo at all. I'm just speaking how it is. There's levels to the game, and he's gonna beat him. And then what are we gonna say? And then people are gonna say, "Oh, well, he lost to Bivol. He said he was gonna get the rematch and never fought him. He's gonna go beat Bivol." Then what else are we gonna say? Oh, well, Terrence Crawford's calling him out, even though he's a few weight classes below. What, he fights Terrence Crawford, beats Terrence, and well, it was a few weight classes. And then who else is he gonna fight? I really believe that Canelo's gonna go fight David Benavidez, Bivol, and then he's gonna go beat Terrence Crawford, make a shit ton of money, and then retire as the best boxer in the world. Hey guys, welcome to the False Line Podcast here with episode 166. Yep, I'm wearing my Cowboys jersey again. Boys are winning. I'm pretty sure we're still winning, and we're going to win against the Patriots. I hope your team won. Christian McCaffrey's on fire. But hey, guys, welcome to the show. We had an exciting weekend. Canelo. You know, he's a fucking star. He's a beast, and we're going to talk about the fight. I want to talk about what's next for both of the guys, and then I want to talk about Aljamain Sterling, and that's about it. That's what we're going to talk about today. Tune in. I hope you guys look the intro, and I hope you guys are looking forward to listen to what I gotta say. All right, so let's talk about the fight itself, man. Let's get to it. Canelo versus Jarmell Charlo. Good fight. I said it was a 2-0 fight. It was a warm-up fight. I got a lot of shit for it. It is what it is. You know, I like that Canelo comes out with different singers or rappers, whatever, you know, because he's kind of putting them on game. And people, I'm pretty sure, looked them up like, oh, who are these guys? They look a little goofy or whatever. But they got a few songs that kind of go hard, not going to lie. I don't know who they are, but just, you know, whatever. But one thing from the beginning of the fight that stood out to me was, you know, Jarmell, he didn't. In the first round, usually is when you can win the round against Canelo, you know, and jab him, throw some hooks. You can throw a lot because Canelo's not going to counter you too much. He's not going to do all that. But Jarmell didn't throw anything. He wasn't giving anything to Canelo. So then Canelo just started taking it to him from towards the end of the first round. And then that's how the whole fight went. And I was a little surprised because I was like, bro, Canelo's going to get tired. And we know that Canelo gets tired around 9, 10, 11, or 12. We know this. And I was like, damn, Canelo's going to get fucking tired. And we'll see how that shit goes. But, bro, Canelo didn't let go of the gas. He kept up the pace the whole fight. He looked great the whole fight. And I was just impressed that, you know, his conditioning and his stamina was up there. And, I mean, it was great. It was good to see. And I was really surprised by that. Canelo, I mean, he got caught a few times. I mean, which is normal. It's a boxing fight. He's going to get caught. He's not going to be perfect. He's not untouchable. He's not God. He's nothing like that. And, I mean, Jarmell just didn't have any answers for Canelo. Just nothing. So, I mean, I knew this fight was going to go like this. I'm not going to lie. I was a little worried. I was like, oh, this guy, if he comes out aggressive, he might be able to do something because I've been worried for Canelo. Canelo hasn't looked like Canelo these last few fights. And I was like, man, these could be signs of him slowing down towards the end of his career. He's getting older, you know, and we've seen this happen to other boxers. And I was a little worried that this was going to happen. But no, he came out aggressive. And from the first round all the way to the 12th, like, he looked amazing. And that has to do with his training camp, you know, to train in altitude, away from your family. I'm like, bro, he was locked in and he wanted to perform the best he could. He didn't get the knockout, but I mean, goddamn, he looked fucking great. And it's good to see him look like that. And post-surgery, he feels good and looks like he is going to keep performing. So that's really how the fight went. I was watching this fight and I was like, fuck, how am I going to talk about this fight? Because it was just pure domination. And even prepping for the episode before, I was like, bro, Canelo's going to win this fight. And I really saw some comments, you know, I was like, oh, like, you know, Jarmell's going to beat him. And Canelo's not that good anymore. He's gonna get tired. Like, you know, all these things, right, is what I saw about Canelo. But then today, look at my comments and I look at the critics on Twitter, what people are talking about, and it's like, oh, like Jermell wasn't even that good. And I'm like, well, I said that it was a tune-up fight. So yeah, he's not that good. I told you guys this. And now that, you know, he only picks his opponents, easy opponents, and this and that. But I'm like, who else can he fight? And yeah, there's a few names that we're gonna get to in a second. But I'm like, everyone who he's fought, like, they've been solid. Just Canelo just makes it easy. That's the thing that, you know, a lot of we give, or not me, but a lot of people give a lot of shit to Canelo. But I'm like, bro, when you're that fucking good and you get in the ring with somebody, you make them look easy. And that's what Canelo does. It's not like these guys aren't good. He just makes them look easy. Because, I mean, he made Caleb Plant look like a chump. You know, and Caleb Plant, I mean, he still looked like a chump against David Benavidez, got destroyed. But he didn't get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think of other situations, but I can't. But, I mean, Canelo's just that good. So, you know, and now the question is, like, so what's next for Canelo? What is he going to do? Who is he going to fight? And, you know, the critics are all up on his ass. So I honestly think he's going to go fight. Or the obvious answer is David Benavidez. And I think that's what's going to happen. I really feel like he's going to fight David Benavidez, Cinco de Mayo, or in a year from now, Mexico Independence week or weekend. And he's going to, I mean, David Benavidez is not at Canelo's level, but it will be a good fight. Canelo will make it good. David Benavidez will make it good. But Canelo's just going to beat him, and we're going to have nothing to say. And then he's going to do the same thing. Or he can fight Bivol. He can go fight Bivol, and people are going to give him shit for ducking David Benavidez and whatever. Let's say he goes fight Bivol, whether it's at 175 or 168. I really think he can beat Bivol in the rematch. I know he got dominated, but I really do think, I really do think he can beat Bivol. So that's that. But I mean, there's really nothing much to say just because how Canelo made the fight like go, which it was just too easy. So all you can say is, oh, well, Canelo did really good, and this guy he shouldn't have been in the ring with Canelo, you know. And like I said, I said this already, so I'm not surprised at all. Now the next thing is, oh, here we go. So Canelo just, you know, got his 60th win. He's a professional boxer. 39 of those are knockouts, 2 draws, 2 losses. He's lost to Bivol and Mayweather. Now, one thing that I want to talk about right now, that, you know, the Mayweather fight that he had with Canelo, and I feel like every time I watch Canelo, especially when he really performs, I really think about that Mayweather fight. I remember watching that so vividly. And I didn't think Canelo had a chance, if I'm being honest. I was like, bro, Mayweather's going to win. Canelo's too young. Things like that. I was rooting for him, but I didn't think he was going to pull it off. But, you know, Mayweather has beaten clearly 50 guys. And Canelo maybe had like 20 or 30 fights professionally in his career. And he lost to arguably the greatest at the moment, right? But he didn't just say, oh, I'm a young fighter. I lost to Mayweather. I got my money. I'm going to just keep boxing. And it is what it is. I lost to Mayweather. Like, fuck, he's the best. I lost to him. Because, you know, we know people with that mentality. It's just like, oh, well, I lost to the best, so I didn't really lose. Like, that guy won. Like, he's the best, so it didn't really count. And I'm sure a lot of fighters that lost to Mayweather take that approach. But, you know, the fact at the age that Canelo fought Mayweather, with the promotions, with the media, just all that weight outside that ring, you know, and the pressure might have or might have not got to him. But the fact that he took that fight, he took that loss and said, okay, this is what it is. I lost, whatever. But he made something out of it. He went out to become now the best fighter in the world. And he has probably a shit ton of money because of how he runs his promotion or his name. Well, I don't know how that shit works. But he does that. He handles the media like a fucking champ. Learned English. Like, he learned so much from that fight. And I think he really saw how the boxing world worked and how he can use that to his advantage to be the face of boxing, because that's what he is now. which boxer do we know that's with the zone and then Showtime, like just bouncing around. A 3-fight deal, a few fight deals. That's what Canelo. What other boxer is doing that? And that's the power that Canelo has. And he put himself in that situation. And I do think that it all stems from the fight against Mayweather. And I think I'm like I said, it's cool to see him take a loss and make it into what he's done, because that's what Canelo has done, and that's fucking impressive. And that's who champions are. They don't let the loss define themselves. Whatever comes after is what defines you. And look what Canelo has done ever since then. And that's a champion mentality. That's a winner mentality. That's like, this doesn't define me. I'm going to be more. And that's what he's done. And to talk about Mayweather was there last night, and I'm sure he hates seeing Canelo. And I'm sure he hates that, Canelo's talked about the way he's talked about, especially now with social media and how much more it's amplified. And, if you guys haven't seen the video of this interview of the fighter that Mayweather has, Mayweather took the mic and he said that he started talking about how, like, Canelo's going to be the guy to beat him. And it was just hilarious to see, because I'm like, bro, get over it. You beat Canelo. Like, shut the fuck up. It is what it is. You're just jealous now that people are talking about Canelo now and how he's better than you, and he doesn't like it. He tried to steal the show yesterday, and I thought that shit was so funny. And anyone who thinks that Canelo and Mayweather are anywhere near close, I'm like, bro, no. Canelo just surpassed his 60th win. Mayweather stopped at 50, and his 50th, I think, was against a Connor. Like, come on now, bro. And yeah, Mayweather got the best of Canelo, but Canelo's career has been much more impressive. My opinion. So don't get all riled up, but that shit will be cut out on the clip to get y'all riled up. So, all right, what's next for Jarmell? I mean, Jarmell jumped up 2 weight classes, and he hasn't fought in 16 months. So there's a lot that he can take from this fight and make it into something positive. And he's a young fighter, and he looked all right against Canelo, and I was surprised that he looked that good. If I'm being honest, I thought he was going to go out there and get knocked the fuck out round 8 or 9, and that was my prediction. It didn't happen, and I was surprised that it didn't happen sooner. But he stood there and he took some punches, and he got beat up, but he looked okay. Now the biggest question, is how, what's next? What do you do after this? At the end of the fight, he calls out Terrence Crawford. And I'm just like, oh shit, that's exciting. That could be a decent fight. But then Terrence Crawford tweets out, like, basically saying, like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, it's too easy. And I get it. Terrence Crawford doesn't want to. He wants to fight. He said this on the Rogan podcast. He wants to fight big names. He wants to fight, big fights. And the Jarmell could be a big fight, but as far as competition, like, no. But we never know. That would be a decent fight if Jarmell can get a few wins, and I can see the Terrence Crawford fight happening. But right now, no. Especially losing to Canelo the way he did, it's like, no. Now, what is interesting is Jarmell fighting Errol Spence. That's a good fight, and that can sell you some pay-per-views. Like, it's a good fight. Another one would be against Caleb Plant. I know the weight classes are different, but Caleb Plant, another name that, you can fight and you can sell a lot of pay-per-views. It makes sense. But the Errol Spence one would be a fucking banger. And I don't know if anyone's talking about that yet, but that's a fight I would love to see, is Errol Spence against Jarmell. Because that one, I don't know who would take it. I would say Errol Spence, but it would be a good fight. It'd be entertaining, and it'd just be a banger. But Jarmell's young. He has a long way to go in his career, and he already fought someone like Canelo. So if he can learn a lot from this fight out in the ring and outside the ring, he can still, he probably won't lose another fight. But, go for the money fights. Go for the bangers. And if you really want to be the best, I guess it just depends on him. But, but can you imagine if he beats Errol Spence and I can see he can beat Errol Spence, and I can see him fighting Terrence. Or if he was to fight Caleb Plant or Errol Spence, why not fight Terrence Crawford at that point? And maybe, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, he could. That's how I can see him fighting Terrence. But I don't know if Terrence Crawford is gonna be around when that time happens. So, I'll keep an eye out for Jarmell. I'm gonna see when his fights are, and things like that. So, hopefully he doesn't take this loss and let him define him, because, you know, he fought one of the best ever, arguably the best to ever exist at the moment, or no, like ever. So he shouldn't take it lightly, but he shouldn't beat himself up too much for it. So to switch the conversation up, you know, that's boxing. That was the fight yesterday. Switch over to UFC talk or MMA talk, but it's just gonna be about Aljamain Sterling. So Aljamain Sterling has his grappling match in I don't know where it's at. So I think it's in the UK, but it's like some event, Polaris. I'm not sure how the promotion or the organization that did it's pronounced, but it was a grappling match. I didn't get to see it. I wanted to see it right before this, but I couldn't do it. I just fucking forgot. But he ended up winning, which is impressive. I'm not sure how it went down, but, you know, to go fight outside the UFC and then win, I'm like, bro, that has to be impressive. So kudos to Aljamain for doing stuff like that and just challenging himself. So after the fight, he has a little message for Sugar O'Malley. I'm about to read it to you guys. So he says, I got a message for Mr. Sugar Tits, because he's still that to me. Hey, give me my rematch or fight Marab. It's that simple. Stop ducking the top contenders, and be a man and be a real champion. Fight the best of the best. That's what I did. And now you need to turn around and do the same exact shit. Bro, Aljamain Sterling is speaking facts. I'm being real, speaking straight up facts. And I've told you guys, I've been pretty what is it called, outspoken about how Sugar is treating himself or how he's acting as a champion. I just didn't like, you know, you called out Gervonta Davis, who's in jail. It doesn't even like include a rematch with Aljamain. Like, just shuts that completely down. And, you know, before or after the fight, he said in certain podcasts on his own, and then recently on Rogan, I mean, I think he was scared to fight Aljamain, and I don't know if he was ready or not, but I think he was definitely scared, and he lived up to the moment. But I don't think he thought that he was going to win that fight. It was a hard fight for him to win, but he did it, and not taking that away from him. But I'm just like, why not give him the rematch? And this is where I'm going to get a little, I don't know what the word is, but I guess say something about Dana in the UFC. You know, Leon Edwards beat Usman, a dominant champion, you know, crazy KO. No one said anything about the rematch. It made sense. Izzy, same thing, was dominating the fight, gets knocked the fuck out, gets the rematch. You know, Leon goes and wins the rematch. Israel goes, wins his rematch. And Leon now apparently had no say in who's next. Dana White said, oh, Kobe's next. And Leon doesn't have a say. Right? And I'm finna get to where I'm going with this. You know, Aljamain's a champion. He doesn't have a say on who he's fighting. You know, he fought Peter Yan again, beat him. And then he fought TJ, whatever. But he fought Henry Cejudo, you know. And then he went to go fight Sugar Sean. And he didn't pick those guys, but he fought the best that he could, you know. And the fact that the conversation of a rematch with Aljo doesn't make sense, or it's not talked about, I don't see it. I'm like, bro, he's literally was the best. And he's probably going to go down as one of the best in the division. And you don't want to give him his rematch? I don't get it. I really don't. And it's obvious. Like, they want to protect Sugar. Sugar's ducking Aljo. Like, that shit's clear as day that's what's going on. And that's a little downside on how the UFC works, you know, because Israel's one of the faces in the UFC, and he's probably going to get his rematch with Sean. I won't be surprised if that shit happens. I won't be surprised. But it's just like, bro, Aljamain defended the title. He beat the best of the best. And how he lost, he got caught. But it's not like he was losing the fight. He just got caught, you know? And it's just like, okay, fine. Don't give him his rematch. But it's just like, Leon didn't have a say. And he's fighting Kobe. That fight's happening now. But it's just like, if Kobe wins, he can fight anybody he wants, because he has that favoritism. But it's like, you know, in my opinion, in my thoughts, I do believe in karma, or you can call it whatever you want. But champions stay champions. Let that shit sink in. You know, a real champion will stay champion. Israel lost. He came back and won. He lost the belt. And I think he's going to come back and win it back again. You know, whether it's a rematch or another fight that's going to happen, whatever. But he's going to be a champion. Aljamain Sterling, a champion as well. He got caught, whatever. But he's going to come back some way or the other. He's going to be the champion again at 135. Volkanovski, a real champion. Islam Makhachev, I don't really know yet. He could be potentially a real champion. And who else? Usman was a real champion. His time was up. And, you know, and now it's Leon. And I think Leon's going to be the real champion in that division for a while. So, you know, whether it's karma or something else, whatever, you know, the champ's going to be the champ. And the division has a champion, you know, at the moment. But no shade or nothing against Sean. You know, I'm a big fan of Sean. I was so happy he won. Like, I was like, let's fucking go, bro. You know, and then in my head, I was like, it makes sense. Aljamain's going to get his rematch, and let's just run it back. Let's fucking go, bro. You're the best. You just beat him. And then he calls out Gervonta. And then he says that, why would I fight Aljo? Next question. And I'm just scratching my head like, what's going on? Night and day, you just changed. What the fuck happened? I don't want a champion like that. Fight the best fucking guy again. Like, he deserves his title shot because how good he's looked against these other guys. You know, but you want to go fight fucking Cheeto, boring Cheeto. He says that he's boring, and I'm like, why do you want to fight him? And the thing that's going to fucking suck the most is that if Cheeto wins. And I said that. I'm like, but, you know, I'm not going to put that juju on Suga, but I'm just like, bro, do the right thing because that shit's going to come around and bite you in the ass. And that's just how the world works. That's just how the world works, you know, and, you know, whatever. But, I mean, again, kudos to Aljamain Sterling for the grappling match and for winning that grappling match. And to call out Suga. You know, put that pressure on the UFC. Put that pressure on Sugar Sean O'Malley. Do what you got to do. Fuck it. Who cares? Right? You know? And again, Sugar Sean is a star. Has a lot of fans. But I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. He's not going to be a champ for long. And like I said, I was real happy for him. But I don't know. He's, I don't know. I hate to say this, but he's not my champ. So we'll see what happens. I hope he fights in December. And we'll see what happens after that. But I think Aljamain Sterling will be the champion again at 135. He's going to win that fucking belt. He's going to be like, fuck it. I'm going to 145. And that's it. I don't think he's going to defend the title. He just wants it back again. And that's it. You know, and or maybe he just fights Sugar and beats him up. And that's it. And he moves up because that's what he wants. He either wants to fight Sugar or he wants to be the champion again. And then he's going to move up to 145. That's all he wants. Fucking get it over with. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next one is going to be fire. I'm going to tell you guys why Canelo's the best on the next episode. Stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys on Friday. Hope you guys have a fire-ass Tuesday. You know, damn, what the fuck was I going to say? Have a fire-ass Tuesday. Have a good week. Don't let shit stress you out. Don't let shit get to you. I hope you enjoy this. Don't get triggered. I'm just some guy talking on the mic. I love the sport just like you do. And I just talk crazy. And I'm biased. And I speak about my opinions and my feelings only. So, don't let this shit get to you. It's all love. And, yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.